What's up, everybody? Andrew Mahone here with Tricky Jim. Going to be playing a game on PTCGO today, and today I'm rocking Rayquaza GX, traveling to the World Championships tomorrow. So that is super exciting. Going to be heading out to Nashville. That is super sweet. Can't wait to get started here. I've been, spending as much time as I could just testing and getting prepared. Rayquaza is like one of my top handful of decks for the World Championships. I think the deck is just solid. I mean, it's just solid. It's consistent. It's fast. It does, one-hit KO numbers, and that's all really, really good for me. So let's start out with an Acro Bike, see what we get off rip here. We've got a Float Stone. Gonna keep the Float Stone. I'm pretty sure I have N in hand, so that's fine. Going to keep the Float Stone to put onto my active ray. Usually you want the Float Stone for your active ray there. Then we're going to get to Mysterious Treasure, away a Grass Energy, and get ourselves a Rayquaza. We did not prize any, so that's very good. And then I can attach one to my bench dude here, attach that Fury Belt as well, and then we're just going to end. So I don't know what I'm playing against here. We see a Drampa. I haven't seen a Drampa in a while, but we do have a Drampa out here. I'm thinking that I could just go and get Mysterious Treasure. I always go for this. You just get the Marshadow, and you just see if you can just win super early just by sticking your opponent. I don't know. We're just going to see. Now, that could come back to bite me if I just, if I don't get a supporter out of this. We got Sycamore. We're totally fine. So we're good to go here. My opponent's got a 4-card hand, and we're just going to see. I think we retreat into this Rayquaza here just in case my opponent field blowers me so that we can get an aggressive turn 2, and then we're just going to pass. See what my opponent's got. The reason I save my Acro Bike there is because I don't really have anything else that I need this turn, and I want to be reactive to what my opponent's doing. So say they, bench something or do something that would require me to make a different play off that Acro Bike. I'm just going to grip it. There's no real reason to play. If they end me, it's just more consistency cards in the deck to allow me to draw out of an N. Whereas if I just burn it right here, that Potown does not do anything against me. So that is very good. My opponent does have the Sycamore there off of the Marshadow. So that's unfortunate, but it's fine. They do get to go in with the Righteous Edge for 20, and they just have the 1 Trubbish there on the bench. That Trubbish is going to be pretty scary. As you can see, I've got 3, 4, 5, 6 items in my discard pile already. Soon to be 7, 8. And if they Field Blower, that's 9, 10, 200 damage. I mean, we are just looking like we're in a bad spot. Trash Avalanche is just so very good against Rayquaza GX, especially if you play Acro Bikes. I'm back and forth on Acro Bikes. I don't think that they're needed at all. Oh, I forgot about Big Wheel GX. I suppose my opponent could have done that out of that Marshadow. So, not going to lie, I wasn't super aware of that. But as you can see, yeah, so Acro Bike, things like that, saving the Acro Bike. Now, if I could have Acro Bikes for an N, we would have done that because my opponent Big Wheeled. So, I want to limit their hand again. Let's just attach here. And then Acro Bike, see if we get a Ray. We got a Mysterious Treasure, so that's good. And I'm a little worried because I'm kind of ditching all my consistency cards here, but we kind of just have to go because, I suspect that if this deck sets up on me at all, then they are just going to just smoke me. So we kind of have to get going here. We have 2 Max Elixirs in the discard pile. That's sad. We need not that many. We end ourselves into not the best hand, but it's fine. It's got some Guzmas in it, so maybe I can knock out a Garbodor or something like that. Only 130 damage there. We just need more damage in play. But that is something that bothers me about the deck. Obviously, I think Acro Bike makes the Garbodor matchup worse, but the idea is that your Garbodor matchup's just not good at all anyways. So you kind of just play the Acro Bikes, I guess, to try and make your deck quicker and more consistent so that you have better matchups versus other things. See, my opponent is playing Weakness Policy in their list. That is assumedly for your Buzzrock decks and things like that. Since Drampa, Drampa has just not really been much of a guy in this format ever since Buzzwole became a thing. because Drampa used to just be this 180 hit point GX that had a good weakness, but ever since Buzzwole came out, fighting no longer a good weakness. And yeah, the whole thing kind of just got, put to the backseat there. Now, does Trash Lance knock me out? Yep, Trash Lance knocks me out. So that is bad. But fortunately, my opponent does not have anything else set up. So all I really need to do is knock this thing out. But if I can't get a Max Elixir Pokemon from your discard pile into your hand, if I can't get a Max Elixir out, then I'm not attacking this turn. So that is bad news. So let's start off with Stormy Winds. All right, discard. No Max Elixirs, please. Thank you. Yes, I need no more Max Elixirs to get discarded, that's for sure. Now we're just going to Sycamore, and we need to hit a Max Elixir pretty desperately. There's one. That's good. Let's do that. We've got an energy. Good. Okay. And we also have our Latias in hand. That's good as well, because we know that we're not going to mill it with this Stormy Winds. Get another energy into play. Then we've got Latias. All right. And we're knocking out this Garbodor. We've got a Guzma in hand. That's about as good as it gets. We kind of have to hope that my opponent just doesn't bench 2 Trubbish this next turn. That's like our ideal scenario. Ideally, they don't bench any Trubbish. But if they can just bench 1 Trubbish, I can work with that because I've got a Guzma in my hand. This looks like a very old, very traditional Espeon Garb deck, but it just doesn't matter. Rayquaza just plays so many items that any sort of smell of Trash Lance is just going to be absolutely disastrous for this deck, which, not going to lie, does very much concern me heading into the World Championships. I am going to just stay the course and not knock out that Eevee, I don't think. Like, obviously, they could Energy Evolution, and then they could, like, Psychic 369 plus 60. If they have a Choice Band Psychic Energy, then they knock me out, which is, like, depressing, but I guess I kind of think I save it. I think I just save my Guzma in my hand, because I don't have a lot of Guzmas left. So I want to save them for any time that I can. You see, I've got, I think it might even be 3 Guzmas in the discard pile. Yeah, it is 3. That is my last Guzma. So I'm going to use it sparingly. I'm not just going to throw it down. Do they have choice? They have all of it. Yeah, so they are getting a knockout on my Rayquaza here. I know that I can recharge with this Latias. That is the case. So that is very good. But still very sketchy situation we're in. My opponent cannot take any more prizes. That would be bad. So let's see. I should have promoted the Floatstone guy, but I know I'm like out of Max Elixir, so that's just like not happening. Let's Field Blower the Choice Band and the Potown. Very good. And then let's do that. And then I think, do I have a Lele left in deck? I do. So I can go for, I don't even know if I play a third end. I might just be like, I think I'm out of cards. I think I just like need to win at this point. So that's like the unfortunate, harsh kind of reality of, let's see, what am I doing down here? That's fine. That's kind of the harsh reality of just a Ray deck, is that sometimes you just run yourself out of resources, and that's just it. And if my opponent, at any time, if my opponent just benches a Trubbish, like I could just lose, because that's just what's going on right now. But they haven't really played too many cards from their hand. They did just take a knockout with that Espeon, so they got 2 more cards off the prizes. I highly doubt that they just don't have something in that hand of theirs. Are they going to divide GX? I mean, if they divide GX, then they don't have anything. So they had to just scoop there. They didn't have it. I mean, that's not the kind of way that you want to win games, though. You want to win games by, actually... But that's how, like, Rayquaza wins its games, and it feels bad. I don't ever feel like I outplayed my opponent. I don't really feel like I outskilled them. I feel like, I kind of just, like, slap the deck down, and it just it's like riding a roller coaster is more what it feels like. They're just so, I mean, really a lot of your decisions don't really matter. You just kind of pilot the deck somewhat appropriately, and then you mill a quarter of it, and you just hope that in the quarter of the cards, you like saving the Guzma there, something I kind of had to do, but I didn't really have to do it. I could have Guzma the we're playing against a Zoroark deck. I could have Guzma the Eevee, and obviously I would have saved myself from getting knocked out there. But then I would have been out of Guzma, so that if my opponent just got a Trash Lance going, then, I mean, that's probably was the correct play to Guzma the Eevee there, because then even if they get a Trash Lance going, they don't get it the next turn. I know they don't. So I knock out the Eevee, and then I go forward, and there's just, it was a routing thing. I should have taken the Eevee in hindsight, but, well, I only had one Guzma left, so I was trying to be a little conservative. Let's see what we got here. We're going in blind with this Rayquaza. That's just what we're doing. Sometimes you just do that. So we're just doing it, hoping that we hit an energy. We do. That's great. We also milled another Ray and a Rescue Stretcher. Sad that we got the Rescue Stretcher, but that's fine. I'm just going to slap all these guys down, and we're going to let loose. We're going to get loose. See if we can just make my opponent shuffle draw 4 and then just win. That's the goal. I feel like I always get what I need off of a let loose. I never get punished for going early let loose, and my friends always give me a hard time for that. But I don't know, Ray plays plenty of consistency cards. You're fine. Got the Latios there. Since I didn't have any energy in the discard pile, I didn't want to just go get the Ray if it wasn't guaranteed. So here we go. We do have energy in the discard pile now. I'm going to toss those, get another Ray down, and then we're looking pretty good heading into turn 2. We've got a Sycamore ready to go. I'm just going to put the grass on and retreat into my active Ray, so the Field Blower can't stop us either. And then we're just going to pass. So we're threatening turn 2, not a ton of damage. We're going to be doing 3, 6, 9, 12, potentially 16, 160 damage, something like that. Even though my opponent did grip the Ultra Ball there off of the Marshadow, there's no saying that they actually have any other supporter in their hand. You can see they only have a 2-card hand remaining, so they might not have a backup supporter at that. You saw they did have to ditch. They ditched Mallow and Evo Soda, so maybe they do have something. You got to figure the 2 cards in their hand are better than Mallow and Evo Soda. They're just going for Sycamore. Okay, I was going to say maybe they're not going to bridge it. They're not bridgeting. They do not have any other consistency cards in their hand. They are just going for Sycamore because that's what they have to do. So if they miss Zeruas here, and they even ditched a Zoroark, they kind of realize the stakes. They have to go quickly. If they don't go quickly, they could just lose. So I think they are playing double puzzle. What are they? They're going to double puzzle for an Ultra Ball, potentially, because I think they know they need another Zorua. So I think that's probably what's going... No, they're single puzzling. The animation is always so tricky. You can't tell. So the fact that they are single puzzling, and they quit. So look at that. Rayquaza did it again. A quick 2-0, but did we really, though? It doesn't really feel like it. We're going to give it a third game and kind of see how it goes there. And maybe it's better, maybe it's worse. We're going to see. What did I earn? I earned an Alolan Ninetales GX. Very good. I'm going to play a third game here with the Ray, see how that goes. This Hydreigon Muppet apparently has the advantage against me. They've also got a dope little Anaheim World Championship coin here. Very cool. Let's see what Hydreigon Muppet has in store for us. It looks like they are playing a Psychic Metal deck, so this could be some sort of Beast Box thing. This could be, I guess we're going to get to see because they did mulligan their hand, so that's good for us. This is a Solgaleo deck with Steven's Resolve in it. What in the world are we facing against? But that's no problem for us. We should be able to hit 250 damage pretty easily. Yes, I'd like to draw a card. Very good. This should be no problem. Oh, this is a Metagross Solgaleo deck, so that is pretty crazy. We also have an ideal starter here in Latias. That's pretty much perfect. Can't ask for any better than that. There's no point in putting the Fighting Fury Belt on my Latias. I'm just going to start, I think, with the Float Stone on my Latias. I'm going to go Mysterious Treasure for a Ray since I have the energy in my hand already. I can just go grab that, get Ray energy on, try to just discard as many energy as I can for turn 1 Latias, beef my hand up, beef my board up, get a ton of energy in play. What does Steven's Resolve do? Search your deck for 3 cards, put them in your hand, and shuffle your deck. Your turn ends. Oh, that's pretty cool. I guess he's playing Nest Balls and Steven's Resolve. So the idea is that he's not Bridgeting. He's going to Steven's Resolve to set the deck up. I mean, playing 2 stage 2s, I see it. Like, I see why they're doing that. We're going to Acro Bike first, and that's why. So we Acro Bike first there just to see if there's any other sort of plays we can make. So we are going to do that. And then I like the Marshadow here because I got the energy in the discard pile. I have a Rayquaza in my hand. Yeah, let's just do that. So we're going to get an energy there. Then I might just go to try and like run my opponent off the board here. And then let's just let loose. Shuffle draw both of us to 4. See how your Steven's Resolve likes that. Probably none at all. So let's just let's Tapu Lele, and then we're gonna go for a Sycamore here. Obviously can't use that N. That is not going to help us at all. And then we're gonna Sycamore these, get more energy in the discard pile. That's great. And we're off to the races. We've got a Max Elixir. I'm taking a turn 1, assuming that I can get this knockout here. We're gonna take a turn 1. Take a turn 1 knockout on that Beldum, which is super good, very aggressive. So I think order of operations tells me that I think I don't actually want to play this Ultra Ball quite yet. I think I'm just going to Max Elixir first. That is really unfortunate. Okay. I mean, you could Ultra Ball there to thin the deck first, but I didn't really want to do that. That was pretty greedy. So I think I am just going to play this. And I have the Rescue Stretcher in my hand. So if I mill another Ray there, then I could have just gotten that back. And the reason why I didn't want to Ultra Ball for another Ray quite yet is because I just didn't really want to discard any of these cards in my hand. I just wanted the energy. That's what I wanted. All right, we've got 2 in the discard pile. I think that we just retreat and pass to, well, no, let's just keep him in the active position. That's fine. And then I think we're just going to pass to my opponent. See what my opponent's got going on. See if the Marshadow stopped them in their tracks at all. That turn 1 attack would have been really good to help slow my opponent down here. Obviously, if my opponent does get set up, this is going to be pretty devastating. The concept, oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, they got another Steven's Resolve. They probably play like 4 of these things and just plan on setting up their deck with Steven's Resolve. I think there is a Metagross where, playing Steven's Resolve does not end your turn. So like that's kind of interesting. But that Metagross is just not as good. They've got to be playing the Energy Acceleration Metagross for sure. Now the question is, do I end my opponent again? I don't think I do. I think at this point I just start taking knockouts. I know that my opponent is going to get whatever 3 cards they want in their hand. I know that they are going to get themselves a Solgaleo, and they're probably going to Soul Burst. That is like really rough for me. So I think what I need to do is I can Rescue Stretcher for N, but that's just so bad because I don't. Oh, here's another Max Elixir. Let's see. I think I want to just get another Ray. How many energy do I have in the discard pile? None. That's bad. I think, well, maybe we just need to go aggressive here. Knock out a Cosmog. I don't really care if they accelerate onto, or do we knock out a Cosmog or knock out a Beldum? I don't really know. It's a tough call here. I think we go here onto that Ray, and then we Ultra Ball away the Stretcher and the energy and get, I think my other Ray is in deck. Yeah, I have one more Ray in deck. That's fine. We're going to do that. We're going to mill, and hopefully, it's not that bad. Oh, just all my Rescue Stretchers. That's fine. Hopefully nothing gets knocked out this game. And yes, there we go. That is the card we wanted last turn to hit. Very good. And then I think that I just kind of stay the course here and just start taking knockouts. I kind of have to. I don't think that I Guzma anything because, honestly, the difference between knocking out a Cosmog and knocking out a Beldum here is like pretty minimal. I think I want to save the Guzmas for next turn. My opponent is promoting the Beldum, so maybe they get the Metagross. Oh, they're going this strategy. So their turn is not going to end when they play Steven's Resolve. So now what they wanted to set up was the fact that, and now this might be a next format deck. Okay, I'm taking a look at all the cards they've played. I think that this might just be a next format deck, which this strategy is much better next format. And this is kind of crazy. You can see their strategy here is to use Steven's Resolve to set up their Solgaleo, and then they can go and Ultra Road and Soul Burst. So that is the kind of key to the deck here. And that is gonna be hard for me to come back from. I don't exactly have enough juice in the deck. I kind of stalled out there as far as my supporters go. I don't really have enough juice to knock out this Solgaleo this turn. I definitely have to knock out that Cosmoem. That is the goal here. So I think we Guzma around. I'm doing 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 22. Yeah, I'm just not knocking it out. Now I am going to get blasted by Sunsteel Strike. That's just unfortunate. But I think we attach here just because if I do get blasted by Sunsteel Strike, then we want to at least be able to Dreamy Mist and poke my opponent's Solgaleo there. So we're going to Dragon Break, and now this should be fine for us. We should be okay because now my opponent's in a situation, they're going to Sunsteel Strike, I get to Dreamy Mist. They don't really have any way to easily charge up this Solgaleo GX. I don't even know if they play Metagross GX. I don't really know what their plans were as far as keeping energy in play. Maybe they just play one copy of the, who am I thinking of? Solgaleo Prism Star. Is that who it is? Solgaleo Prism Star? Is it so? Or Duskmane? Duskmane is Solgaleo Prism Star. Yeah, it's not a Duskmane Prism. There's no Duskmane Prism Star. There isn't. No, I'm just, I'm tripping. So, yes, maybe they play a Solgaleo Prism Star or something like that to accelerate their energy. Maybe, I think they play Metagross GX, but I haven't actually seen it yet. They could just be playing this Metagross with the intention of Meteor Mashing and stuff like that, but I don't really think that Meteor Mash is a super viable strategy. It's not a super viable attack. I think that he is there just to allow you to Steven's Resolve. So here we are in this situation that we thought we would be in, and we are in that situation. I don't actually think that I go for anything other than just benching this Rayquaza, milling 3 cards, and then we are going to accelerate with Dreamy Mist, and we should be good to go after this because that Solgaleo has much less hit points, which is very good. Done, and we'll put the grass here. We'll put another grass here, and we're going to put the lightning there. Very good. So we should be fine. Doing 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21 now, 21, 22. So I am like, actually need this Latias to not get knocked out, kind of, but my opponent doesn't really have anything that should be able to knock this out. Still, looks like my opponent is only playing cards from next format, so I am going to just confirm, I think, at this point that I think, oh, I get their strategy now. So they get to, like, Steven's Resolve every turn because they could just Ultra Road the Metagross into the active position. So that's, like, a very creative solution. And you have to give credit to Mr. Hydreigon Muppet over here for thinking of that. So that's pretty creative. Definitely dig it. Pretty cool little setup there, especially since next format Bridget is not going to be legal. So this kind of Steven's Resolve strategy is definitely viable. But, I mean, here they're stuck. They can't actually... Oh, that makes sense. I was going to say they're stuck. They can't Ultra Road again. But they can Ultra Road again. So I suspect what they got here is they should have gotten Solgaleo Prism Star and an energy. And that way they can Ultra Road a second time and throw the Solgaleo Prism Star into the active position and then load up their guys with energies. And if they've done that, then I could be in a very bad situation. They got themselves a max potion. Oh, they could definitely stick me here. This would be huge. That would be rough. And they don't even have any Sycamores or any Ends or anything like that in their deck. Okay, we've got Sycamore, but at what cost? All right. We are going to rescue Stretcher, some things back into the deck first. We need to throw those 2 guys back in. Then we need a Sycamore because we just need to see some different cards that are not those 2 cards. Alrighty, so at this point we know Sunsteel Strike just like knocks me out. I think we just have to go on the offensive here. There's no other way about it. So Acrobikes, all this is good. Sure. I mean, Fury Belt doesn't really make a difference whether or not it's on there, but we're going to put it on there for good measure just in case. And we're just going to drag and break. We just need to take prizes. We're kind of off to the races here. I obviously would love a Guzma. I might just be out of Guzmas. This deck runs out of Guzmas super fast. We have 3 Guzmas down, so there's 1 Guzma out. I don't think that there's any way they just explode energy into play without me being able to do anything. I think they would need the Solgaleo Prism. If their Solgaleo Prism is prized, that's going to be very bad. I'm also just assuming they play it. I feel like they have to play Solgaleo Prism Star in this kind of deck because they're not, at this point, they've made it pretty clear they are not playing. You see Steven is actually in the back of this Metagross. That's pretty cool in the artwork there. There is the Solgaleo Prism Star. So we've been waiting for him. I guess my opponent did not have the cards in hand. Did not have the cards in hand to make that Solgaleo play happen last turn. I actually don't know if I would have been able to respond if the Solgaleo play had happened last turn. I think what we are going to hope for, I don't really think that there's any other way about this. I think we're just going to hope that my opponent, that I have Guzma in deck, first of all. I think, yeah, we're going to put this here. At this point, I feel like I kind of have to end, but I guess I don't really. I can Field Blower to thin my deck. I can Ultra Ball to thin my deck. I do have a Lele in deck, so I think I just Ultra Ball my 2 Field Blowers, get myself a Lele, and then we do have energies in deck as well. I've attached an energy for turn. We can't do anything else. So we have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. We have enough. Oh, I didn't check my deck to see if there's actually a Guzma left in the deck. Oh, bad, Andrew. Bad. Let's see. We're not going to end up ending here. So I think I will. I'm just going to check to make sure that there is a Guzma in there. There is a Guzma in the deck. Very good, Andrew. Good. And then we're going to take this knockout here. And yeah, so the goal is now to just Guzma up that Lele and win the game on Lele because we know that we are just getting smacked next turn for a 1-hit knockout with that Solgaleo. The hope is that even, I guess my opponent doesn't play N, right? Because they are only playing next format cards, so they could judge me. No, they're going to Apricorn Maker. So that's the unfortunate thing I feel like about next format. There just is there's no N. Yeah, so like if you just, there's much less excitement with the games, right? Like I just have win and they just can't stop it, right? They could judge me, but even then, I've got 7 cards left in deck. The odds of them being able to judge me out of the win are very small. The odds of them being able to end me out of the win, definitely a possibility. So tough match there. Good game. Well played by my opponent. They already know that I have the Lele in hand, so they kind of see what's happening here. They know what's going down. We can just, max elixir, get another energy into play. We didn't need that, but we kind of felt like doing it. And then we can just Lele, grab that Guzma there, and take out the Tapu Lele GX for game. Now, a little bit of an unfair match there because I am playing cards from the current Worlds format, and they are not playing cards from the current Worlds format. They're playing next format, so definitely an unfair match, but random games on PTCGO, you never really know. And it was super cool that actually my opponent did get to show off a very fun, very interesting deck to look out for next format. Solgaleo Metagross with Steven's Resolve. Definitely pretty cool there. Going to show off the Rayquaza GX list here real quick. For anyone interested, I mean, this list has kind of been through the ringer. There's a whole bunch of different things here that you can consider doing with the Rayquaza deck. You can turn these Fighting Fury belts into Wishful Batons if you want to. You could play 8/8 energy if you want to. This list is at 7/7. You could take out all 3 of these Acro Bikes, and you could put in a couple more energy. You can, maybe play 1 less Rescue Stretcher. You can add some Parallel Cities if you want to. Parallel City helps with Garbodor quite a bit. Helps against Zoroark Garbodor. Helps keep their Garbodors. Kind of makes them have to pick and choose a little bit, so they can't just flood the field with Garbodors. But anyways, thank you all for watching the video. Make sure to like the video, sub the channel, ring that bell, check out the Etsy store and Patreon stuff in the description below. Peace.